There are quite a few characters from My Hero Academia that have yet to be added to My Hero Ultra Impact as playable characters. However, there is some data to suggest that those characters are guaranteed to get playable characters in the future, or at least some of them. But let's go over that here in today's video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys go down there, click that red subscribe button, make sure it says subscribed, and also click that bell. Drop a like down below and comment what is your most anticipated character to be added to My Hero Ultra Impact that hasn't gotten one already. Also, be able to use cool emotes and get a cool chat badge next to your name by clicking that join button down below and becoming a member of the channel today. As I said already, there are quite a few characters that have yet to be added to My Hero Ultra Impact as playable characters. However, there are quite a few characters actually already in the game. However, they're in various places such as like story assets, story bosses, event bosses, enemies, and all that sort of stuff. Now, the way the game is actually kind of separated, there is like a playable character ID range or obtainable character ID range. And then there's also like the enemies, the bosses, and stuff like that ID range, like the unobtainable ID range, right? So generally the unobtainable ID range kind of like begins or is in like the beginning of like the 9s and stuff like that. So, and then the playable characters are generally below 9. So that's kind of like how most games do it. We'll go over a few examples here in a little bit, but there are quite a few characters that have like story asset cut-ins or just general story arts and stuff like that that are actually in the game that guarantee them to get playable characters at some point. Now, I'm not saying that these are characters that are coming next or anytime soon. I have no idea when these characters are going to be made playable, but it is a guarantee that at some point, these characters will obtain playable characters at some given point in the game's life. So let's go ahead and go look at my database Twitter here. If you want to check it out, link in the description down below, by the way, at MyHeroUI_DB. But here we go. So playable characters to come in the future. This is a list based around the playable character ID range, as I mentioned before. There are still other missing character ID ranges. So in the list of characters, as you can see here on the database website, link in the description down below as well. I do have a development version of the site, so you can't actually see this, but I made it seeable on my version so that you could kind of see along with me here. But there are ID ranges in between like different characters that are actually missing as well. And we'll go over that in a second too. But that's again, unknown when these characters will happen, and this is the IDs of the characters, and then also this ID is a part of their main character IDs, which are 7 digits. So as you see on the My Hero website, you can see this is the character ID specifically, like this little 7-digit character ID, right? So this is where their IDs actually look like in the game and in the files and stuff like that. And then we have the ID here. Now, the way the actual IDs work is that Midoriya is 101. So if you can see here, you can see the 1101001. So the way this is actually working out is that the one, not really relevant. The very first one kind of irrelevant. I think they just made it to where it's just 7 digits at this rate. I don't actually know why there's another one there, but the 101 is the character ID. And then the 001 is like the placement of how many characters are actually there. So this is number 1 Deku, this is number 2, this is number 3, this is number 4, 5, and it goes on and on and on, right? So the last 3 digits, 001, 002, 003, 004, is like the sequential order of the Dekus being added to the game. Like this is Deku number 15, this is Deku number 12, this is Deku number 3, and so on and so forth. Then the 101 here before the 002 and 001, that 101 is the character ID, and they just added a 1 in the very front for whatever reason. But that's how I was able to actually kind of figure all this out and kind of, you know, do that, because there actually is in the data, there's actually like the character IDs, then there's the character IDs that you obtain as a unit. So this is the unit ID, the 7-digit here. This is the character ID, this 3-digit ID here, because this 3-digit ID kind of links them to like all their story assets, links them to like what character uses what cut-in, what uses what character, what uses everything, all so that sort of stuff, right? So that's kind of how you can kind of differentiate that, give a little bit of insight into kind of how this works, right? So as you can see here, we have 101, then we have 102. So here we have Hinako Komori, which actually she and Pony were actually added to the game. Oh, well, I think it was during Mirror. Was it during Miracle? Maybe it was, no, it was during Summer Ochako, I think, is when they added these two, because they actually added plus ultra cut-ins for these characters, which added their unawakened and their awakened darts. Now, these are most likely SRs. They don't look as intricate looking as UR characters. They could be. They very well could be URs. I could just be very well mistaken on how I'm looking at them. But to me, they seem like UR character arts. But this is Pony's unawakened art. This is Pony's awakened art. And where she goes, so she's ID 136. If we scroll down here a little bit, 136, actually we gotta scroll down quite a bit. So we have 161, we have 147, 142, 123, 141. So Pony and Kinoko here, these two on this list, 136, 138, is actually gonna fall between Tetsu and Mirio. So they're gonna go right in between here. So that's where that's gonna go. This is the Pony art, by the way, and this is the Kinoko art. So they do both have unawakened and awakened arts. Again, whether they're URs or SRs, I don't know. My gut is saying they're SRs at the least, right? So there's most likely that these two characters at some point are going to receive SR characters, probably with these arts in the future. So these two are in the game, so they did receive plus ultra cut-ins, like I said, because they are, I believe, in the story events and stuff. They are actual like boss characters that fight, so they have to add like the little plus ultra cut-in and stuff like that to them as well. So they do have arts in the game, and they are like in there, like kind of, you know, coded into the game and whatnot to be there as those characters. So those two are coded in the playable ID range again between Tetsu and Mirio. So that's where those two are gonna go. Next we have Gang Orca. Now Gang Orca doesn't actually have anything like a plus ultra or anything like that. He doesn't have art or anything specific to like character arts, but he does have story cut in. So I do, yeah, because Gang Orca is in the main story as like a boss type enemy and stuff like that. He also has the Gang Orca minions. That's also something to note. Gang Orca is in a playable ID, but his minions are actually in the enemy ID. So if we scroll all the way down here, we see 1227, which is Re-Destro's final ID here at the final end of the list right here. So the way that the enemy IDs work is that these 3 digits is going to be like a 901, 902, 999, stuff like that. These 3 digits, this starts with a 9. So that's how you're going to differentiate the bosses, right? So the boss ID characters are 9. So Gang Orca's minions are 9. So those most likely won't get any playable characters. Maybe ours, maybe at some point in the future, but unlikely at this point right now. But Gang Orca is 175, which Gang Orca will go between, let's see, 175, right? Will actually go right before. So Night Eye is 176. So Gang Orca will actually go right before Night Eye, in between Genus and Night Eye's ID range. So that's where Gang Orca is going to be living at right here. So that's going to be cool to see whenever we get a Gang Orca unit. Again, I'm not saying that these units are going to be SRs or URs specifically. This could be any of the sort. They could even be Rs for all we know, or whatever they decide to add for other rarities in the future. But Gang Orca, as of right now, is going to go between Night Eye and Best Genist and 175 ID range, which is literally the one right before Night Eye. So that's Gang Orca. Now, Toya Setsuno. So these 4 right here, these 5 right here. So 201, 202, 203, 204, 205 is like Larceny, you know, the Diamond Guy, all of like the Yakuza people, right? Is it Yakuza? No, not Yakuza. I meant Hasaikai. There we go. Hasaikai. Those are the Hasaikai characters. We have like Kendo, Rappa. We have Rappa here. We have Larceny and all that stuff. So these 5, these I believe are actual enemies in the game. They don't have actual like arts, but they do have cut-in arts. Most characters in the game, like I said, are going to have arts, and sometimes they may add plus ultra cut-in arts and stuff like that if they have like plus ultras and stuff like that unique to the characters and whatnot. But as of right now, those characters, specifically those 5 highlighted, only are like enemy bosses and stuff like that, or enemy characters specifically. So these are the Hasaikai, and those 5, obviously they're Hasaikai, so they're gonna go right with Overhaul, or right actually, yeah, between Overhaul and Gentle. So 201, 202, 203, 204, 205. It's gonna go right between Overhaul and Gentle, which Overhaul is 195 and Gentle is 208. So this is gonna go right between them. So we actually still have 3 after Hekiji Tengai. That's Barrier Guy, I believe, right? So we have 3 ID ranges after him, which 2 actually, so 206 and 207 that are yet to be, you know, determined between Gentle and Tengai here. So there is that. Then also we have Senji Shishikura, which is Meatball Guy, you know, the meat guy that, you know, turned Bakugo into a meatball and stuff like that in the anime. He actually also has plus ultra cut-ins. This guy has had art in the game since the game actually came out, like officially, right? It's either that or a little after the game came out. It's like, this has been art like in the game forever. Like it's been there for quite a while. And he actually has like awakened and, you know, non-awakened art. Actually, this guy, he does have plus ultra cut in art, I do believe, but this one, this character specifically uses actual character, like file naming. Like this is actually a character file name for a playable character. This is not like plus ultra cut in ID 1, 2, blah, 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 blah. This is character underscore M underscore character ID, blah, blah, blah. That, cause you know, when it's a character, that's actually obtainable, the character's art actually starts with Kara or Chera underscore M underscore ID, blah, 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 right? So this one is actually a playable character's art that is just in there. It's just there. Now, the difference between this one is, like I said, this one right here, this is a plus ultra cut in art. So like when the character does like a plus ultra, it shows like art for a brief moment. That's what this specifically is for. I don't believe this character has like the character art, like for the one that's dedicated to like the character, like that you're viewing in like your character selection screen and like, you know, in your box and stuff like that. So I don't believe this one has that. I may be wrong, but I didn't look for it at the time of recording this video. But I did find the plus ultra art cut in and stuff like that at the very least. So for this video specifically, but this guy has plus ultra, and this guy also has just a regular character art. So this guy has like the art that you'll see if you're going to your character box and viewing all the characters. This is the art. This is the art specifically for that. And then again, this is plus ultra cut in art. There's actually no difference, by the way. The cut-in art and then the plus ultra cut-in art is the same exact thing, by the way. I don't know why they duplicate it, and though there's like one called plus ultra and one called something else. I think plus ultra cut-in is specifically dedicated towards bosses, though, so I think that's actually why. I haven't actually deduced why that's actually done that way, but that's my general consensus is plus ultra cut-in art. Like this one is for like enemy-specific bosses, or more or less, right? I think. I don't remember. I'll have to look, but either way, this is going to be art for a character. This is going to be art, the unawakened. This is going to be art for a character. And then this is also going to be an art for a character. So just kind of go over that real quick. I'm sorry if that's confusing. So, but yeah, either way, all of those characters that you see this art, we have the Shroom Girl and then also Pony. You know, all those characters are going to get those are all official arts for those playable characters that are eventually going to happen. So just to keep that in mind. Now, Getten and Curious also have ID ranges, which is actually right before Re-Destro here. So this is probably going to have a lot of the characters that are Re-Destro followers, or like the generals or whatever they're called in the anime. I can't remember what they're actually called. I just call them generals for now, for the army, right? So Getten and Curious, those two are going to be right before Re-Destro, and also there's a couple between Re-Destro and Curious that are actually missing as well. So we have 224 and 227 for Re-Destro. So there's going to be 225 and 226 that come after Curious and before Re-Destro. So curious what those are going to be. But Getten and Curious actually have team skill cut-in arts, which is kind of like the team skill cut-in being like when you're doing the skill chains that pops up, right? Those are like, these are for that right there. So these two actually have arts for those, which playable characters do also have this as well. As you notice, if you do a skill chain, all those characters are actually, you know, using these styled arts, and they're actually just kind of like one unique style. But yes, Getten and Curious both have these arts in the game, and at some point, more than likely are going to receive playable characters because they have these cut-ins as well. Now, there is also one other character that I do want to mention, because this character is another Re-Destro. This character is also a boss in the game, I believe in the final story chapter. Yeah, it should be like the final story chapter 13. And he actually has animated art, and it's the UR Re-Destro art. This is actually animated here. As you can see, this is the unawakened art, and then this is the awakened art. So Re-Destro has a UR potential in the game and will receive a UR at some point, and most likely will use this art. There was a scenario like this before. Overhaul actually had animated art in the game as a boss character before he was obtained as a playable character in the future. So Overhaul was done the same way as Re-Destro, so I would expect this Re-Destro here, which would receive these two arts for the Unawakened and the Awakened art here, as a playable UR character in the future. So that's just something to note as well. But yeah, those are the characters to expect. There are quite a few characters, by the way, that are not in here, like in this list, that could potentially be coming at any point in given time, right? So let's kind of give an example as well. So as I mentioned, Pony and Kinoko, those two are going to be between Mirio and Tetsu Tetsu. And as you can see here, Tetsu Tetsu is 123 and Mirio is 141. Pony is 138 and 136 for Kinoko. So these two are going to be playable characters, which, you know, Pony character, this is going to be her art for a character, and Kinoko, that's the Shroom Girl, right? So either way, so it seems that the ID range from 121, 122, 123, at least up until Mirio, it seems like a lot of these characters that are going to be in this range here are going to be the class 1B characters and stuff like that. So that's going to be really interesting to see. I would expect a lot of the other class 1B characters to also be added at some point in the future, especially like in the main story and stuff like that. You know, again, at some point in the future, I expect it to happen. Or at least in events, right? An event, not even the main story, but events or climax or whatever the case may be. But yeah, so the class 1B characters are going to be added. This is probably where their range is going to lie. They're going to be before Mirio and after Tetsu Tetsu. Again, kind of indicated by Pony and Kinoko, which is between these two characters. Gang Orca is going to be 175, which is right here. So it seems like these are like the teachers up in here, and then we hit into the pro heroes, right? So this is all teachers. These are pro heroes, and I do believe it was Baku or Ludi that mentioned like some of these are like characters, like these pro heroes are ones that are like connected to like the students, right? So these are like pro heroes connected to the students. That's why they're higher up, and that's why Miriko is kind of like down below, because she's just kind of like a pro hero. She's not really connected to the students in any way, so she's just kind of like the pro hero line down here. And also Shiketsu High, right? Like these two here are also down here instead of something like up here with the other students. So these must be like soloed, like unique, not related, or I don't know what to really call it, right? So the Miriko one makes sense. I don't know why Shiketsu's down here versus up here. But for Meatball Guy is 121, which Meatball Guy will fall between what is it? It's 211, excuse me. So 211. So this is 210 and 212. So this one, right, Meatball Guy will actually go right between Inasa and Kami. So that's where he'll go. So I would also expect maybe like all more pro heroes to come in between this point as well, because after Kami it's 212, right? So then we have 213, 214, all the way up to 220 that are missing in between Kami and Miriko to actually come whenever those are going to be. And then Getten and Curious go between Miriko and Re-Destro here. Also Re-Destro, for this guy's art and this guy's character, his will be, just to give an example as well. So Re-Destro starts at 1227001. Most likely this Re-Destro, his ID will be 1227002. Now, it could be like 003, it could be 004, because they have been known to skip IDs. And I'll give an example here real quick if I can find it, right? So I have to find an example here. I gotta like look for which one is actually skipped in here. I can't remember whose ID was actually skipped. All right, here we go. So Kaminari, right? This is where they skipped an ID before. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So Kaminari is actually missing a unit between 4 and 6. So there is going to be a 005 ID'd Kaminari at whatever point. It could be an SR, it could be a UR, could be whatever, right? So we don't actually know what it's going to be. The ending ID number is not indicative of whether it's a UR or an SR, but again, there is a missing Kaminari ID number, which is 1111005. So that one is missing in here. I don't think Jiro is missing any. Nope. I don't think Jiro is missing any. There are a couple characters that are missing like specific ID ranges, and I'd have to actually look for them. Oh, here we go. Ida actually has 1104003, 1104005. So Ida is missing 1104004 ID. So Ida will eventually potentially fill this gap at some point. He's also missing 007 as well. So that there's 2 missing Idas at some point that are probably going to be filled in here with something just random, probably nothing too crazy. We could get like a steampunk unit, we could get like an alternate variant unit, just really kind of depends. But yeah, that's kind of like how the ID system works and how this stuff goes. But these are all the playable characters. This is how their ID ranges. Again, for enemy IDs, it would go, so let's use Re-Destro's ID as an example. His ID is 1227. Now, if this was an enemy ID, this would be 1901001, right? Something like that, or 1990001, 1999001, stuff like that. So it would be a 19 in the beginning if it was an enemy ID. Anything that is lower than 19XXXX, right, is all playable character ID range. So again, these are the character IDs that are currently in the game data that would correlate to being playable characters in the game. Unknown when this is going to happen. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments down below. Again, there are plenty of characters, a couple characters, not a lot of them, but there are plenty of characters like that are missing like in between character IDs. And then again, there's like, as I mentioned here, there's the class 1B, and then there's just a gigantic ID gap between 1B's Tetsu and Mirio. So there's going to be quite a few characters to fill in from this range here. And then let's kind of go over the other ones here. So we have 142, 143. Oh yeah, so 144. So 1144 is missing here. So 143 is Nejire. 144 is someone else. I don't know who that would be here, but that would go right in between Nejire and Shinzo here. Well, 146. Then we have 147, 148. Yeah, so after Mike, we're missing 149, 150, and 151. So there are going to be quite a few teachers. More than likely they're teachers, because this seems like this is all teachers in here, because Midnight is a teacher. I don't know why, but I think up to Midnight is teachers, and then Mount Lady down here are all like the mentors, and, you know, again, related to characters from the students in some way, in some shape or form. But from Midnight up to All Might is like the teacher range, I believe. Just that's kind of how I'm seeing it, at least right now. But again, after Mike, there's 1449, 150, 151 before Midnight. That's going to happen for pro heroes that are teachers. And then after Midnight, they could have some pro heroes that are teachers and pro heroes that are like mentors or related type of stuff after Midnight too. But we have 153 through 156 that is missing between Midnight and Mount Lady. So that's also something missing here that we can see. And also 158 through 160 is missing here. So between Mount Lady and Endeavor is missing through there, which a lot of other pro hero technically as well that could be added through that. Then we have, I don't think there's any missing here. 163. Yeah, so again, we have already mentioned this one. So 175 is going to be Gang Orca, who's going to be right before Best Jeanist. But then after that, so 164 through 174 is going to be missing right here. So that's going to be other playable characters to add through there. Again, Gang Orca being 175. Then we have 180, 181, 180. Oh yeah, no, we do have 182, 183. Oh yeah, so we do have 184 missing here from the league. So I don't know who's actually missing from here. Oh, Spinner. It could be Spinner. It could be a couple of them, I think. Either way, there is some League of Villains characters missing here. So we have 184 missing. Then we have 186, 187. Then we have 188, 189, and 188 and 189 missing from Muscular to Twice, which is going to be other two League of Villain characters. And then we kind of stop here. We're missing 192 and 193 from Compress to All for One here. And then we're missing from 196 all the way to 196 to 207, which, as we've already said, 201 through 205 is going to fall in here from the Hasaikai, which Larceny, Tengai, and Rappa and all that stuff is going to go between oh my goodness, Overhaul and Gentle. There we go. And then the Meatball guy is going to go between these two. And then Getten and Curious are going to go right before Re-Destro. And then we also are missing, again, like I said, few characters between Mirako and these guys right here. So Again, a lot of, actually, no, yeah, sorry, I was correct. We're also missing 223 missing between here, so there's going to be a character right between Genton and Curious, which again, probably like one of the commanders, generals, whatever they're called, from that army there. So again, there's a lot of characters missing, but these are all characters, like I said, that are guaranteed at some point right here. These ones in this list, guaranteed to get characters at some point as playable characters. So if you guys like these ones, again, I'll do updates as time goes on. If you guys want to see video updates, if they add other characters to these IDs like this, to where I can update you guys like, hey, expect this character at some point in the future. He's not in the game as a playable character, but he has like the ID and stuff like that. If you guys want me to do videos updating you guys on that kind of thing there, let me know down in the comments down below. Let me know if any of these characters are ones that you're looking forward to, or does it at least give you some hope that a lot of your characters or a lot of your favorite characters will be added at some point in the near future, whether it be on this list or just knowing that the list in general here shows that there are gaps missing and that they do plan to eventually fill them out at some point in the future. So again, let me know down in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic day.